It's once again shaping up to be a thriller in the ring of fire.
Very tight situation. Very tight situation.
But you back Arshdeep to defend this because he has done it in the past.
He's done it in IPL matches.
Not exactly. See, he's defended targets of say 9 or 10. But Bhuvaneshwar, yet again, such a similar situation. 2 wides, 2 fours. Then we had 3 runs, so 13 runs in that 19th over against Pakistan. You went for 19 runs.
That was the thing. Again, 2 wides, and then that was followed by successive boundaries that may very well, in the end, prove to be the game changer.
Yep. 5-4, and Bhanuka Rajapaksa is on strike.
And arguably they're more dangerous batter in this circumstance. Oh, they're getting a single.
And
I think they'll run 2.
Oh, they have run 2. The fielder was too deep.
They ran 2. Oh my God! Now it's run a ball.
It's run a ball. 3 of 3. The fielder was too deep there. So Bhanuka Rajapaksa has taken 2 runs.
What was I telling? By the way, just so all of you all know, I was saying off air to Sid that he said that a Pakistan-like collapse can happen. I said, but they're not Pakistan.
They are
Sri Lankans
like
hold their head.
Yes.
They keep their head. They hold their nerve, and they've done that here. Look at that. 2 runs run very comfortably.
And you've got Dasun Shanaka, who's a very, very calm player.
And it's not like they don't have batting. Dasun Shanaka calm, can hit a long one. Rajapaksa we know can hit a long one. They have one in the waiting to come next. He too can just finish it in a ball.
Chamika Karunaratne
can also, you know.
Yes. So, okay, we'll just wait. 3 of 3. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen at this point.
Now, the next ball. Remember, super over.
It can go to a super over.
If the game is tied, it will go to the super over.
But a super over is not good for net run rate, right? Because net run rate will be unaffected.
It's just not going to happen.
So if India win this by a super over, then also it's a dicey situation because their net run rate will be poor.
No, but then if they win, 2 points are crucial.
Yeah, but what happens if other teams win by better margins?
Better margins,
You will then because net run rate remains unaffected.
Yes.
So your net run rate will be negative.
Yeah.
Which is a problem.
Lots and lots of
permutations and combinations.
Because remember, India's net run rate is minus 0.13.
Correct.
Nothing will happen through this result. It will only perhaps dip to minus 0.2 or minus 0.19.
Yeah, if indeed they do end up losing this, then it will drop. But of course, the fact that they'll need to be reliant on so many results going their way.
Yes.
Let's see now what happens.
Going down leg, and no, they couldn't throw because there was no fielder backing up there.
Exactly. Oh dear God.
And Rohit is aware of what has happened.
So is Arshdeep.
Arshdeep got the ball to swing back in leg stump. Bhanuka kind of got the...
Also, so far though, whatever said and done,
brilliant final over.
Exactly. Arshdeep hasn't really put a foot wrong. What would be...
it was an inside edge.
He thick-edged it onto his pad. And the thing is, what would be wrong if Arshdeep gave away a boundary early? So far, no boundary. They've had to work for their runs, and full credit to the Sri Lankan batsmen in that regard.
Absolutely. 2 runs of 2 balls.
Man.
And still not counting out a super over, folks. Can happen.
Don't even count out extras. That too.
Yeah. Stranger things have happened in the game.
This is very...
So, Wanindu is padded up in case if there is a wicket. But if there is a dot ball, then advantage India. Because they can at most get only a single with the way Arshdeep is bowling. And remember...
The key now for Arshdeep is don't miss your lengths at all.
Yes. That was the problem with Arshdeep in the previous game. 2 full tosses resulted in a boundary and 2 runs.
Exactly.
And the remaining
7 runs then doesn't really matter.
And the remaining 2 balls were absolutely spot on.
Exactly. So far today he's landed 4 balls in beautiful positions.
But yet again 2 runs of 2 balls. Not
his fault, unfortunately.
Yeah, Dasun Shanaka. He's missed it. And oh my goodness. I think they'll run 2. Oh my goodness. And they have made it.
No, but I don't think they ran 2. I don't think
they did.
They did. Then that's the match over.
Oh my goodness. Yes, the match is over.
But I think they're checking for the run out.
They will be checking for the run out. Oh goodness.
I don't think that.
No, big boy. No.
No, it's done. It's
done. Sri Lanka have won by 6 wickets.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness. Again, anticlimactic way to go. Arshdeep had a shy at the stumps. If he had hit it, was run out. But there was no fielder. And Ramesh Ratnayake, very, very happy because his bowling, he's a bowling coach, remember. So that is why he should commend his bowlers for doing such a great job. Oh boy. So... India have lost their second consecutive game in the Super Fours.
And to be fair, big boy, I would like to correct you that India are not technically out of the tournament yet, but yeah, it doesn't seem very likely that they're going to make it from here at this point. Sri Lanka, on the other hand, have taken one step into the final.
Yes.
Because you know for a fact that they've won 4 matches, won 4 points.
Yes.
So, and to be fair, as I had said, this was a target that was chaseable for them.
Absolutely. So, look, why are India not eliminated from the Asia Cup final contention yet? Okay, India can still make it. Okay, how? If Afghanistan beat Pakistan.
Correct.
Okay, irrespective of the net run rate factor and other things.
They could have had 2 runouts being affected.
Yes,
2 runouts.
yes, they missed 1 run out, and because the fielder was deep at long off, they could manage that extra run. It was a risk that they had to take.
Yeah, of course.
So, what will happen now? Okay, Pakistan, if they lose to Afghanistan, India has to beat Afghanistan. Okay, that gets them to 2 points, and Pakistan still remain on 2.
Afghanistan will be knocked out.
Yes,
because they've lost 1 game. No,
if they lose to if they beat Pakistan,
and then yes.
See, simple. Afghanistan beats Pakistan. India beats Afghanistan, Sri Lanka beat Pakistan. That is the way India can do it, provided India register a massive win against Afghanistan.
Exactly. So there's a lot of pros and cons in that regard, and a lot of toing and froing that will have to happen for that to actually take place.
Can you look at the scorecard?
So obviously, as we said, they're not out yet. Mathematically, no, but technically speaking, I don't think this team are making the final.
Yeah, it is just not happening. So, let us give you a summary of the match. Rohit Sharma's brilliant 72 of 41 laid the base for a good score, but yet again, your lower middle order, Hardik Pandya, Rishabh Pant, Surya didn't kick on. Had it not been for Ashwin's 15 runs, they would have been chasing much lesser. Deepak Huda failed, Bhuvaneshwar failed, and so Hardik and Pant yet again 17 runs apiece. Stand out of the bowlers, Dilshan Madhushanka with 3 wickets. The guy hailing from Hungama in Hambantota. Chamika Karunaratne and Dasun Shanaka with 2 wickets apiece. In response, Patum Nisanka and Kusal Mendes laid half centuries apiece. 97 run opening stand. Redemption night for Yajwendra Chahal, who took 3 wickets, backed up with Ashwin's wicket of Danushka Gunatilaka for 1.
But the main problem came when you could not get in either of Bhanuka Rajapaksa and Dasun Shanaka out, because once that was done, then you were into bowling all-rounder territory with Vanindu Hasaranga and Chamika Karunaratne.
And the major turning point was Bhanuka Rajapaksa hitting those 2 sixes of Yajwendra Chahal and Ravichandran.
There were 2 turning points of the match. One was those 2 sixes, one of Chahal and one of Ashwin. And then Bhuvi's over, where he bowled 2 wides and then conceded 2 fours. The match was all but done at that point.
It was a repeat of the Pakistan encounter in the 19th over.
Yes.
Remember, Yajwendra Chahal had conceded 19 runs Bhuvaneshwar Kumar had conceded 19 runs in the 19th over. Today, he conceded how many? 2 fours, 3 singles, 2 wides. 13 runs.
And again, 13 runs when you're defending 20 odd. You need 20. In fact, more than that. I think they needed 21
of 12, and they needed 7. So
you got
14 runs.
So again, if you're defending 21, your 19th over needs to be at most 7-8 runs.
Yes.
You need to give the bowler bowling the final over at least 10 runs.
And remember, Arshdeep conceded just 7 runs in 5 balls.
Yeah, that's not by no stretch of the imagination is that a bad over. He nailed his lines every single time. They couldn't get a boundary.
Couldn't get a boundary. And in that game against Pakistan also, Arshdeep had kept India in the game with 2 missed balls that went for 4 and 2, but the remaining 2 balls were bang on.
And one of them ended up getting a wicket.
So that is why Arshdeep, unlucky for 2 consecutive matches now, he has had to defend 7 of 6.
Aditya Kavlekar, by the way, I'll just interrupt you and take this comment. Arshdeep should have been bowling the 19th over last 2 games and keep the runs to defend for Bhuvi. Bhuvi's lost games. Look, we can say that with hindsight, but
Aditya Kavlekar, what if Bhuvi had conceded in the 20th over?
No, not just that. Let's also say this way that we always say that the 19th over, the penultimate over in a tight chase, must always go to your bowler who is most experienced and be best in the death. technically Bhuvi is your best bowler in the deck and your most experienced bowler. So really, the Indian team were going with convention here. There was nothing wrong in what they were doing. It just didn't work because Bhuvi had two horror shows in the 19th over, both against Pakistan and against Sri Lanka.
That probably is an indication that Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, if he makes it to the T20 World Cup, he is not your death bowler.
No.
You have to bowl him out in the power play.
Yeah, it'll be Bumrah who will be back.
And Arshdeep.
That's your death bowlers, because Arshdeep, whatever said and done with the match against Pakistan, there was a lot of pressure. And to be fair, I think there was pressure also because he had dropped the catch. Here you saw why I called him Iceman.
He is the
Iceman.
And look, that India-Pakistan game, yet again, few rotten apples do not make the entire batch rotten. Okay, Arshdeep gave it his own, and come on, in a high pressure situation, who has not dropped catches?
Correct.
I remember 1999, you want the epitome of a pressure cooker situation. 1999 World Cup semi-final, Australia, South Africa. Lance Klusner hits a big six. He almost tries to clear long on. Paul Rifle just tries to get a hand to it. He ends up parrying it for six. Did anybody abuse Paul Rifle? No. Because the other fans, the Australian and the South African fans, are much more mature than certain sections of fans that are there in the subcontinent. I'm very sorry about that. Roy SPs, I think, Dilshan, Topley and McCoy, not even the top left-armers, leave Stark, Bolt, Shahid. My feeling would turn into reality. If not Pant, might be Ishan. Oh boy.
What's the last part?
If not Pant, might be Ishan. If you're number 4, if you want a top order, in case of Pant, get in Ishan. But again, Roy, if you have to get Ishan and you have had to play him in this tournament.
You had to be playing him before this tournament, and for whatever reason, despite the fact that he was getting runs, he wasn't getting a game.
He wasn't getting a game. And India, Harish Madhisetti saying India failed to use Chahar as replacement for Avesh. Now, no point of including him for the last games. Harish, I agree.
Last game.
Yeah, last game. That's what I said.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
not even
Harish. Look, you would want now your Asia Cup campaign is all but over. Okay. You want to now focus on the T20 World Cup. If you think Deepak Chahar is coming into this game, then he will get game time. He will ensure that he's in a bit of rhythm. Because remember, after this now,
there's still 6 T20Is to play.
Yeah, 7th you're going to play against Afghanistan on the 8th. And now I don't think you're making the final, unfortunately. So Sri Lanka, because of this, their net run rate is now 0.35. India are now minus 0.12. But because they took it to the last ball, that's why there's been a slight 0.01 decrease in their net run rate.
And there's been a decrease in Sri Lanka's as well. It didn't go up.
No, it did go up.
Well, what was their previous net?
It was 0.29.
2.9? I don't remember 5.9.
No, it wasn't 5.9. It was 2.9. So Sri Lanka has now slightly increased. A win anyway increases your net run rate. Doesn't decrease your net run rate.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
So it is not good for India, especially with this bowling lineup, because yet again, it may have been redemption night for Yajuvendra Chahal, but there are problems. Lots of them.
Lots and lots of problems.
Yep. Hardik Pandya yet again did not bowl well.
Just have the points table over there. Yeah. It's down next to the live blog.
There. Yeah. So, Sri Lanka, it's updated at 0.35, Pakistan are 0.12, India are minus 0.125, and Afghanistan.
You know why I'm saying it's gone down? Because Afghanistan were 0.51 or 5.58. But the Sri Lanka's was also higher. I don't know. Anyway, leave the discrepancy aside.
So, yet again, folks, I will again tell you, India are not out of the contention, but they are all but out. They need other results to going their way massively. And if Pakistan win against Afghanistan tomorrow,
then it's done.
Then it is done and dusted. Pakistan versus Sri Lanka final will happen, and they'll have a curtain raiser to that final on September 9th, which is the final league game of the final Super 4s game.
Yeah.
Both match, go back into that. Raj Das Gupta said both match lost in Asia Cup. What in World Cup?
Well, I can understand panic bells being rung at this point in time. I mean, to be fair, all of us thought that India would be walking into the final. The exact opposite has happened.
Yep. Yeah, Varun Parvatnani, that's what I'm saying. And Rohit Roy, if Pakistan beat Afghanistan, it's a Pak SL final. I've said that. I just said about 2 minutes back.
Don't go down yet.
Varun Parvatnani, unhappy with Rohit captaincy. Bhuvi needs to set his fields. Can't also understand Huda role.
Yeah, join the club. Join the club.
If Huda does not bowl, then there is no role for him in the Indian cricket team. And you're wasting him at number 7.
No, and that's the thing, like the whole point, what would I always be saying, or what would all of us even be in agreement on, is that for that backup middle order, because between Shreyas and Huda.
Yes.
What is the argument given by everyone that Huda can be a floater and he can also bowl a bit? Well, he's neither floated and he hasn't bowled at all.
Yes.
So really, what even was the point? And if you're not playing him as a top middle order bat, at this point you can't be playing him as a number 7. He just doesn't seem to have the thing to play.
He just doesn't seem to have. And if you wanted to bowl Huda, why get Ashwin in?
Another thing, and this is in a little bit of defense of Huda, he doesn't do that well on slower pitches.
Yes.
I've noticed this. His stroke play style game is far better on quicker pitches. And to be fair, we've had anything but quick pitches here. So.
Yep. GOF's Davis Cricket again proves we are only good in bilateral tournament, not multinational tournament. Seems to be true, Davis Cricket.
And that's what GFCCR is also saying, is that Sri Lanka proved that if you could play like a team, you can beat any team. That's what. Look at the kind of contributions they put in. The top order, both of the openers got a half century. Yes, Yuzi Chahal did well to get through the middle order and Ashwin
But your lower order?
But the lower order really fired. And to be fair, look at it this way. At one point, we were sure that once they got rid of once they got those 3 or 4 wickets, we were like, okay, these guys, there's too much of a net run, there's too much of a run rate pressure, scoreboard pressure, but they stayed calm throughout.
Yep.
They really stayed very calm. They knew that if they batted sensibly, the match was in their hands.
Yes.
That is exactly what,
There should have been a premonition that you needed a fielder there. Because Hardik, in the penultimate ball, what had happened was an inside edge from Bhanuka Rajapaksa went to a kind of silly point. Hardik ran in, but he couldn't throw to the bowler's end because there was no fielder backing up.
Exactly.
Now, same. Rishabh Pant tried to have a shot.
And to be fair, his throw was still a low risk one because he knew there was Arshdeep there. But when Arshdeep had a shy, there was no one there.
There was no one there. Roy SP, Ishan did know, might be given the Oz series where Stark bowls at you. Batting too is a concern, not just bowling. I fear the World Cup now, SA and Pakistan. Look, Ishan yet again.
Sadly, I think the time for him being part of this World Cup thing is gone now, unfortunately.
It's gone. Might be given the Oz series, but then why would you want to see?
You can't be experimenting now again.
You are going to play the Oz series probably after you announce your entire T20 World Cup squad. Now, unless there is a forced injury change, you can get players in, but provided the ICC technical committee approves of that change. So again, Bhuvi, those 2 wides really hurt.
No, I can see what he was going for. He was going for the wide Yorkers, but missed his line both times.
Yes, and Dasun Shanaka, I will again say this.
What a cool head under pressure, man.
He has proven it time and time again. He proved it in that series against Australia. He proved it in the Asia Cup matches against Bangladesh and Afghanistan. Dasun Shanaka is fast emerging as one of your best finishers in the world at this point in time. And again today, Rajapaksa eased the pressure with those 2 sixes of Yuzi and Ashwin. Abhishek Sharma, guys, please start aware whether Virat is in form or not. Virat is a 0. That's the...
Disagree. It's not a reality. That's your opinion.
I think
also, who was talking about Virat?
No one's talking about Virat. But Abhishek, if you had listened to our mid session, what we said was, what Nikhil said was, probably Virat Kohli was having some confidence thanks to his knocks against Hong Kong and Pakistan. So the old Virat would have rather wanted to defend and perhaps gotten under more pressure. He went for a stroke believing that he had some runs in his kitty. Unfortunately, because of the late in swing, it just could not do it. And he was cleaned up. So that is why it is a very, very problematic situation with Virat. But are you still going to drop him from the T20 World Cup squad? Very, very highly unlikely.
Let's take a few more comments. I think some interesting ones. Rohit Roy says, imagine Afghanistan beat both India and Pakistan and it's a Sri Lanka-Afghanistan final. What a revelation it will be. Indeed.
Well, you would want,
it may not be possible, but hey, stranger things have happened already. Divyanshu Samal says, my football friends are trolling me. They're saying that India is not able to dominate within 10 to 15 cricketing countries.
He's not wrong there.
I mean, yeah.
He is not wrong.
Divyanshu, what club do you support? Maybe you can just take some solace. I would have done that, but Chelsea are losing to Dinamo Zagreb. Anyway,
GGK. I think this may be good for India in a way. Helps us make tough decisions and do well.
Anyway.
Well, right there. I think this may be good for India in a way, help us make tough decisions and do well, or maybe win World Cup when no expectations like 2007. Look, GGK, I'll tell you one thing. What happened in 2007 was a
Accepted the
new
rules.
format where teams did not know how the other teams would play. It was all based on
It was
chance.
all a novelty. So India actually, to be fair, did well, but you can't expect that template to work every single time.
Now every team takes every other team very, very seriously.
Correct.
Because remember, Australia lost to Zimbabwe in the 2007 World T20. But they reached the semi-final and they finally won it 14 years later. And remember, two trends in this World T20 which shows that it is a very, very fickle tournament. Why? No home nation has ever won the T20 World Cup. Be it 2007, 2009, 10, 12, 14, 16, 21. No nation has won it back to back. West Indies could have won it, but 14 they lost in the semi-final, 16 they won it after 2012. So, it is very difficult to win the T20 World Cup on a regular basis, which is why don't be surprised if you have a new winner. Maybe South Africa, maybe New Zealand. You never know. Maybe once again it could be Australia. But don't be surprised because the T20 World Cup is a very, very fickle thing.
Also, our good friend Pau Bhaji is back. Nice to see you again.
Pau
Bhuvi only
Bhaji.
saved 30 runs in 4 overs, less than AajTak. It is not fair to blame Bhuvi. We didn't have a good total. No, it is fair to blame Bhuvi.
Okay, Pau Bhaji, point taken. Yes, you're looking at the overall figures. Yes,
And they weren't bad. But the problem is that,
That
in the
19th
context, in the context of the match, when you are defending 21 of 2 and you give away 14 runs in the final over, boss, you're taking your share of the
Pau
blame.
Bhaji, if suppose Bhuvi had conceded just 7 or 8 runs,
Then it would have been a very different story.
you say Bhuvi only gave 30 runs. What if Bhuvi had given away only 22, 23 runs? Then we would have hailed Bhuvaneshwar Kumar.
Exactly.
But Pau Bhaji, those 19
two
overs,
wides, the 2 wides and the 2 fours in that 19th over.
plus the Pakistan 19th over, he missed this length. And for a gun bowler and an experienced bowler like Bhuvaneshwar
We
Kumar,
expect better. We expect better.
We
Of course
expect
we do. Because he's been in such good form.
Yep.
Don't scroll down yet. He's been in such good form that you would expect him to be defending that. I'm not saying he needs to be taking 3 wickets or something
Yes.
like that. But give away 7-8 runs.
Arshdeep, give him a target in excess of 10 runs.
And he would have probably defended
He
it.
would defend it easily.
And Pradeep Srivalsan, by the way, makes a good point. Hate to say this, but told you India are crashing out. Time to adjust the key, play with the core consistently, define the core and their roles.
Pradeep
too.
Srivalsan, unfortunately, the horses bolted on that.
We kept saying that for ages, and you're not even playing with your core now due to injury.
I had interviewed Sabah Karim before the England tour, even before the Ireland tour
I
had
was
begun.
on the eve of that. Yes.
On the eve of that, I had told him, when do you start playing with your core? Sabah Karim, without blinking and just clearly, he told me, you have to play with your core from the England series. That represented the best opportunity because no one had gotten injured at that time. You had Rohit, you had Kohli, you had Bumrah, you had everybody.
Yeah, Jaddu.
You had Jaddu. Why couldn't you have played with the core with the same time and played it even in the West Indies?
Correct.
Because now look, what is the use of Australia playing all their core players now against series in Zimbabwe and New Zealand? But they know that they have to build up for the World T20. You will play with their core.
You need to get those 11 players playing together in their predefined roles.
Yep.
It doesn't matter who the series is against. It needs to happen. It hasn't happened.
It hasn't happened. And look, India, as I said, are going to play before the T20 World Cup, from the last T20 World Cup till now, they will have played 40 T20Is.
And very few of them would their settled core.
Very not even hardly.
And
would they
that's the
settle
thing.
core.
And that's the thing. I can make exception for injuries, but even then, the rotation at times made no sense.
Made no sense.
Because there were times like I remember UZ Chahal got a rest for the Windies tour. Why?
Hardik Pandya, you did not need to rest
Rest him
Hardik
in the
Pandya
last
in the
two.
Hong Kong game.
Correct.
You need not have to see.
You could have bowled him less, but play him. Let him be in a match with him.
And again,
Take the super chat.
you got DK in for one game, but Jadeja's injury, again, let me just sum it up. I think India, they will never admit it, but Jadeja's injury resulted in absolute panic.
It did.
Absolute panic because 3 positions were now left to be vacant. Who do you fill them with? You've gotten in Deepak Hooda when the management has got no faith in his bowling ability.
Yeah, he's there purely as his batting abilities.
7 for Deepak Hooda was not going to bowl. And that too, when there were 3 left-handers in the Pakistan game, you had no Ravi Ashwin, Yet you wouldn't bowl him. Here you had Ashwin, so Deepak Hooda was anyway not going to bowl. What is his role? Okay, Roy SP, I don't think New Zealand are the strongest country, but SA look too strong.
They do.
They do. And I've picked South Africa as one of my dark horses to win this T20 World Cup. Remember, in Australian conditions, just like India, they have dominated Australia in all conditions.
Correct.
What do you say about this version of KL? And if not Ishan open with VK?
Why Ishan open with VK? What is wrong with Rohit do? Anyway,
I think, see,
you're not experimenting
in the
now.
quest of trying to get KL Rahul back in rhythm, perhaps India are running out of time. They are probably running out of time because, see, KL's role is an opener. You cannot bat him at number 4 because he will not have that momentum. Although KL Rahul in fine flow, when he got those 200s, he was not the opener.
Yeah, because Dhawan was playing at that point.
Yes. Although I'll have to check whether the second 100 came as an opener. I'll
But
have
again,
to check on that. Yeah.
your number 4, 3, 4 is fairly sorted.
KL Rahul, when
With
he got
fairly
the second
sorted
100.
with VK and Surya, I think. So not really a worry.
Yeah.
Can we go back to the comments?
Yeah, there was one comment from Raj Das Gupta who said, what about Australia versus New Zealand thriller today?
Yeah.
Well, Cairns was hosting an international match after 18 years. They had Australia had hosted a series against Bangladesh and Sri Lanka in that interim of 2004. Now, we saw a very good match with Devon Conway, Kane Williamson and all scoring attractive 40s, and New Zealand ended up on 232 for 9. In response, Australia were in absolute misery, 46 for 5, and Alex Carey along with Cameron Green ensured that Australia came back on track, although they lost wickets in clusters towards the end. But Cameron Green, batting on one leg, he was afflicted by cramps on his calf and hamstring. He was there and along with Adam Zampa ensured that they won by 2 wickets, and Australia have taken a 1-0 lead in the 3-match ODI series. Remember, after this ODI series, India, they will play 3 T20Is against India, then they will play a series against England prior to the T20 World Cup. So that is Australia's preparation, and I think it is a pretty solid preparation because you don't need to play more so that you have to get back into rhythm. Excess playing also could result in overkill. Punch should have run with the ball instead of throwing like MS did in 2016.
Easy to say in hindsight.
Again, not everybody can be MS Dhoni. The genius of MS Dhoni. You can't do that.
As what is it? Aditya Kavlekar makes a good point, which I agree with. Jadeja's injury rocked India's combination. Toss going the other way not helped the cause. Wholeheartedly agree. Freudstein, just go back. Freudstein Udit says,
I think it's Udit Chandani.
Yeah. But now India will change the entire team, which is not required. Only a few bowling changes, like maybe a Shami could come in. Bhuvi should stay. No new players like Sanju. Their career will be destroyed. Wholeheartedly agree. You can't be doing chopping and changing now. You have to stick with what you have and hope it comes good.
Of
Harsh
course.
Madhi says, do you think Shami will be in the team plans now? Shreyas will be back or Rahul Rohan? I think
Shami
the latter.
is not in.
Shami is not because for 2 reasons. One, I think they're going to stick with Bhuvi being a new ball bowler, and you also have a certain Deepak Chahar coming back into the stream of things.
And remember, Deepak Chahar has officially replaced Avesh Khan in the Asia Cup.
And they're not bringing in the likes of Shreyas unless Deepak Hooda picks up an injury. Aditya Mohanty is back
Dubai
again.
Ring of Fire giving more heartbreaks than my... ये क्या हुआ कैसे कब हुआ man. I think he's quoted a line from Jolly LLB.
Yep.
I guess, correct me if I am wrong, Aditya Mohanty, but his pearls of wisdom, Dubai continues to give India plenty of heartbreak. Remember, 2 losses to Pakistan and New Zealand in the T20 World Cup in an easy group, saw them exit.
Correct.
Now, in the Asia Cup, you won against Pakistan, but remember, had Hardik Pandya not hit that 6, who knows what would have happened?
Yeah, actually.
You defeated Hong Kong. Imagine, you defeated Hong Kong comprehensively, although you didn't take 5 wickets. You didn't bowl out the entire opposition like how Pakistan did. So, you lost to Pakistan, you lost to Sri Lanka, agreed that toss didn't go your way, but then you have to play in all conditions. That's what Dravid stressed in that pre-match press conference before the Pakistan game. I mean, open with Rowe and VK. Okay. Rowe is the only one at the top who plays the template. I feel Shami can be good in Australia, although his T20 record is bad.
Fair enough.
But Roy SP, you have contradicted your own statement. I feel Shami is good, but his T20 record is bad. Then why pick him?
No, he says that he could be good in Australian conditions. I don't know.
Very big problem in that, because if you had to pick Shami,
why won't you?
You had to do it now. Getting him for the Australia series makes no sense. Absolutely no sense. What is that other super chat?
So that was the same one.
That's the same one. Okay.
Yeah.
Rowe and VK. Again, if you
don't think
drop
you're-
KL, then okay, maybe I can see a team combination now. Okay, open with Rohit and Virat. Get Shreyas in at 3. 4 is Surya.
Then you're likely to play Deepak Huda at 3 or 4.
It makes no sense.
But he is your middle order backup. Shreyas is your backup as your reserve player. So unless someone gets injured, you're not.
I'm saying for a
bringing
T20 World Cup.
okay.
T20 World Cup. Open with Rohit and Virat. Okay. Shreyas at 3. Surya at 4. Hardik at 5. DK at 6. If Jadeja is fit,
Not gonna happen.
it's looking very difficult though.
Knee surgery.
Yeah.
Couple of months at the very least.
7. Okay, then if not him, then Ashwin at 7.
Or maybe Aksar. Who knows?
Again, but you're not going to play 2 spinners in Australia.
No, you will. Aksar at
Except
7 and
Sydney.
Yuzi. You're playing 2 spinners. Not a chance you're not playing 2 spinners.
Okay, Ashwin
Because
and Yuzi.
one will be your bowling all-rounder.
Yeah, Ashwin and Yuzi. Then you've got Bumrah, Bhuvi,
You're
and
playing Ashwin as the all-round option. Eee.
along with Hardik Pandya.
Okay.
Because look, you need to get Ashwin in. Because now the move with Deepak Huda, whatever has happened in the 2 games, suggests the Indian team is not confident of his bowling.
They don't
in
think that he
T20s.
can bowl in T20s.
Yes.
Correct.
So if you're getting in Deepak Huda, then at best get Ashwin. At least he delivers 4 overs with the ball.
Correct.
And he troubled a bit of the left-handers also.
He did.
trouble
He
them.
got 1 wicket and the 1 wicket was a left-hander.
So again, look, in that side, as I said, who are your left armers? Now let's address the one more major issue: left arm pace. There was one comment which was really, really good. That was Obed McCoy.
Yeah.
Then
Reece
there
Topley.
was Reece Topley, and now Dilshan Madhushankar. 3 left armers. Not 145, not 150 plus, not swinging
And
like.
neither are these even among the best,
And yet
left-arm
your
bowlers.
Indian top order. has
Trouble,
struggled.
absolutely.
Now if Shaheen becomes fit,
Which he most likely should be.
and you've got Wayne Parnell in the South African team.
And don't forget, you'll have Mitchell Stark in Australia.
Oh man,
No,
Mitchell
mind Wayne
Stark,
Parnell, you
Trent
have Mitch
Bolt.
Stark.
No, but Australia not in India's group, no?
Well, knockouts if they reach.
Yeah.
Then Stark
you
will be
have
knocking
Reece
them out.
Topley. You have Reece Topley.
David Willey.
David Willey. I think you are not gonna make much development there unless and until India, knowing with the backdrop that you've got good conditions in Australia where you have done well, perhaps. By the way, Rohit looked devastated during the post match. Pradeep Srivalsan is saying, time for some hard decisions. Huda, Ashwin will replace with Bumrah and Herschel. Now we truly miss Sir Jadeja and Shami.
Yeah, because you don't realize how much balance Jadeja gave you in that team till he's now gone.
Yes.
And then it's like, oh dear God, what do you do?
So that's what we recognize the value of players when they're not with us.
Yeah, I mean, see, people always...
Now this whole, I will tell you guys right here, right now, when Virat Kohli is gone, which he will go by the way in 2023 or 2024, you will all say, oh Virat, we miss that era, we miss that thing. But the way how you behaved with Virat Kohli, a certain section of the fans, the way how you questioned his commitment, the way how you questioned his form, have a thorough look in the mirror. Before you say that, okay, 2023 is going to be a total change of guard. Rohit might be gone. Virat might be gone.
KL might be your captain.
KL might be your captain. And on top of that, when MS Dhoni went, we are all crying, oh, Dhoni went.
But to be fair, there was a big section of the fans who wanted
Dhoni to go.
Yeah, because he had outlived his welcome.
Let us understand one thing. There are impact players.
Read that on the TV.
Rohit Sharma's press conference. Oh my goodness.
Oh, this should be fun.
Oh, but why did Nikhil say? The best performer. Rohit was the best performer.
Also, to be fair, I think today would also be, a day you'd want to be fronting up to the press. Your team are all but out.
Yes. So Rohit Sharma is going to come with the press conference.
Yeah, we'll bring you some
and
good updates.
As Nikhil had mentioned, why is Rohit Sharma coming out for the press conference? Because he was the top scorer.
Yeah, but I
best performer.
suspect it's also because partly, top performer is like the guideline.
Yeah.
It's not a be all end all. You can send anyone. So I think they're also sending him because look, they've lost 2 matches.
Hope no bombshells.
Oh, there will be some fireworks.
There will be
some
fireworks.
Something.
Yes.
We just know it. Hopefully, it's not the ones who are known to us.
Oh God, no! Please, no! Again, I am not going to get into that again. So, can we go down, Anurag? Can we go down? Deepak Chair coming in for one match. Yeah,
But see, I don't think, he was never going to be an option unless he suddenly got fit. He did get fit, and so obviously, Udit Chandani, by the way, that Friday Udit was not this thing, so...
Oh, there's a different...
Sorry, Udit Chandani, we thought you were someone else.
Yeah.
Should KL be first dropped from vice captaincy? I mean... Look,
Why, Udit?
Yeah. Already people consider me a KL hater and you're making me answer such things.
KLC, he didn't have that much of practice sessions for 5 months. Sports hernia and COVID.
It's a bad combination.
It's a very bad combination. So how do you expect? How would you expect someone to immediately come back into rhythm? See, the bat also fell down. Considering what KL Rahul did by this comment to Udit Chandani, the bat doesn't agree with you. Why UAE has become win toss, win match, unless score 200.
It's always been this way.
It's always been this way. There are some trends which don't change.
Also, I'm sorry, I just have to get one shot in. Today was a big match, right?
Yes.
What did KL do?
Yeah.
There we go.
There we go. Oh boy. So that is why it's a real problem.
Davis Cricket being cheeky saying, do you think we boycott this World Cup and prepare for 2023? You won't need to prepare for 2023. It's in home conditions.
Yeah. And
that is one World Cup I will say, jeetega to.
Okay, and Rohit Sharma is in.
I think we can call a time on our show soon enough because we'll need to be giving this a listen.
So guys, India all but out, and
Ricky Patel has an interesting comment.
Sabke saath sabka vikas.
I mean, we've given everyone...
Okay, with that we say tata, bye-bye, see you, vanakkam, join us tomorrow for Pakistan, Afghanistan.
And of course the fallout from this, because there's going to be a lot to analyze.
Yeah.
Vanakkam.